Ooh, ooh, ooh. Look at it. Ain't she beautiful? So unfortunately here on the coast, especially down here, you know, southeast Louisiana, hurricanes is a thing we got to deal with, and they suck. If y'all been following the channel since, what was that, 3-4 years ago, we got hit by Hurricane Ida 3 months after I moved into the house down there in Lafitte. We had to deal with all of that. Now, that being said, this is not to weather out the storms in, so don't get excited about that. This is actually gonna be kind of like a houseboat. My little mobile Cajun camp, my little Bayou barge, so to speak, because I've always wanted to camp out on the water, but I ain't got a whole lot of money. And not having a whole lot of money means if you spend the money to build the camp and a hurricane comes, wipes it out, then you ain't got no camp. And you definitely ain't got no money to rebuild the camp because you really didn't have the money in the first place to build the camp. You know what I'm saying? So I wish I could say I was the genius to first come up with making a houseboat out of a lifeboat, but I ain't. There's a few on the internet, a couple on YouTube. There's actually not that many though, surprisingly, as well as I think this is gonna work out. But one good thing about this one is this one has a motor, because when I decided to do this and been dreaming about it, like I said, probably close to 3 years, I didn't care whether or not it had a motor really, because I could pull something like this with my boat wherever I need it to be, and then we just park it there. But this one so happens to have a motor that is supposed to run, or that will run. We'll get to that part in a little bit. Originally, I wanted one of the big ones, one of the big 60-something to 90-something man lifeboats. One thing is, I couldn't really find one. Couldn't find one that I could afford. And if I did find one that I could afford, I couldn't figure out how to transport it. And that was a big issue, because transporting it can get just as expensive, not more, than what I was gonna pay for the daggum thing anyway. But this one came about, I was able to scrape up enough pennies, potentially irresponsibly, to get this thing, and I was able, the guy I bought it from was able to deliver it here, and we're still gonna have to figure out how to deliver it to the water once we're ready to get that, and then find a place for it to call home in between our mini adventures that we're gonna be having on this thing. But we'll get into the plans on it in a minute. Let's give you guys a tour on this thing. This thing is a 14-person, it says it somewhere right here, 14-person lifeboat. I think it's a 1987. The date on this thing is 6/18 of 87. Almost looks like a 3, but I'm pretty sure this thing wasn't built in the 30s. No, up here it says 87. So that's probably how old it is. It weighs 5,300 pounds empty. That means without people. I'm sure with 14 people. Oh wait, I think it has a thing on here. It says, what's the weight? It says almost 10,000, I guess, if it's fully loaded with people. That also depends on probably how much they ate. If this thing came from an oil rig, which I think it did, it might be a little bit heavier. Now, it looks gigantic on the outside, but y'all see in a minute, there really ain't a whole lot of room on the inside, so we're gonna have to do some figuring out. But this is the other side. Looks very much like the other side, just this side of it. You got your big door right there. That's how you get in and out, obviously. These things right here are like little vent holes, but you'll see that when we get on the inside. We might have had a little bit of trouble when we was unloading off the trailer. And bent up our rudder and the little skeg that holds the rudder. So we're gonna have to figure that out. We're gonna have to pull that off, straighten it out. One of the blades of the prop right there is a little bent, but that ought to be easy. That's brass. Other than that, she's in pretty good shape. I think she might be seaworthy. Now there's a few things we're gonna have to figure out to make sure before we put her in the water that we don't have any leaks and stuff. That right there, that long pipe, that's a cooler for the engine. That makes it it's a keel cooled engine. But one of the things the reason I wanted to park it here and work on stuff before we get into the water is, if you can see, where's it at? There it is. There's a little plate right there that's pretty rusted. And there's 2 of them. There's one over there. Not sure what those things are for yet. Ugh, that's one of the things we're gonna have to look at. I think what it is something probably mounted on the inside, and that's used to bolt it down so it has more surface area, so it don't just pull through the fiberglass, I guess, when they tighten it down. So we need to make sure all that seals up nice and tight, because I'd hate to put it in the water and then find out it leaks, and then we have to figure out how to try and get it back out the water. But that's all stuff we still got to figure out. So let's go take a look on the inside. Open sesame. Oh. Ta-da! Smells like an engine. And what that does? Huh. That don't make no sense. Anyway. Alright. Ooh, it's gonna be a little warm in here. Sun's out. Whew. Yeah. There she is. Let me go ahead and let's go ahead and open up some of this. Get some breeze blowing through this thing. Woo! It's a little warm. Ain't got no air conditioning in it, which hopefully we're gonna fix eventually. We'll get some AC or something like it. Ooh, a nice breeze blowing through here though. As you can see here, we have instructions. This is the monthly maintenance schedule for watercraft enclosed lifeboat, which we're not gonna probably not gonna abide by, because a lot of this stuff's gonna be coming out, to be honest with you, because we really don't need some of the stuff they got in here. Like, if you see this thing right here, this PVC pipe, I'll show y'all that. It runs through the whole kind of ceiling area, and it pours water out on the outside, so that if you're leaving an oil rig that's on fire, it's supposed to help not catch the boat on fire. That's why this water will be pouring out on all ends of this thing all the way around to prevent it from catching on fire. But we don't need that, because I don't plan on being anywhere where there's a whole lot of fire. Hopefully. And we can open this hatch right here. Open this up. Which way does it turn? Does it stay? No, it can't turn that way. It's got to turn the other way. There we go, like that. And inside, this ought to come up. We can turn these here knobs that'll hold it up. A little bit more air through here. And we'll be able to see out the back to show y'all this. So down here, if you look right here, that is, hold on, let me show you. So you got this cable system right here that we're probably gonna get rid of. Some of this might stay in there because I still want it to be able to hook to, if you can see this thing right here that I'm pointing at, I want to be able to still hook on that in case we got to lift it some other way. But we don't need all of this cable system, which runs to this big old handle right here, because this is how they drop it from the boat. That's how you would release the cable system to drop it in the water. So I don't need that. We can get rid of that. That's a big old spot right there, because as you can see, that aisle, that ain't very big. That's like 1 foot in front of the other walkway. Not exactly a whole lot of room, because this ain't gonna exactly be, you know, like a run around kind of camp. This is gonna be time to go to bed and maybe sit right here and have a conversation. Can probably cook right here though. But I'm kind of thinking like this little back area, since you ain't gonna use it for a whole lot, this right here can be like where I put my little stove top. GoPro's trying to turn itself off. Hold that thought. There we go. Probably put a, you can cook right here with the stove top, and then the one that look my little camping griddle, then you can always put it back in the case, slide it right there, get it out the way, and then you can just sit here and maybe, you know, talk, do a little camp talk before it's time to go to bed. Also, this tank right here is actually just a big storage area. There's actually 4 of those. There's one right there, one right here, and one up front right there. That's where they had provisions, water. As a matter of fact, one of these things. There's your water. Some SOS Food Lab Incorporated. This is just a bag of water. Emergency. Where's the expiration date? They had an expiration date we've seen on here somewhere. Expiration date. July of 25. Wow. This stuff just expired. Probably still good. Right here you got your little emergency steering apparatus. This will turn your rudder if for some reason the steering wheel breaks and doesn't do what it's supposed to. There's your throttle, but of course we still got to get the engine running before we can use the throttle, but we'll get to that. There's some more instructions on how to use this thing. Emergency escape procedure through fire and toxic gases. And that's how you put your seatbelt on. There's your water systems and all of that stuff. I'm gonna try and keep that. Like, I'm gonna try and pull it off in one piece and like frame it or something. But I do want to take it down because I'm gonna put something else on the walls. Because I do want to make this thing feel like a little Cajun camp. Like when you come in this thing, I want you to not know it's a houseboat. I mean a houseboat. Not know that it was a lifeboat. I'm probably gonna paint the walls, put a little Cajun decor in there, make it feel like a camp when you get in here. Probably gonna keep all of the wood seats, like this thing right here. That's like a, I don't know, it just looks old and nice and rustic, and that's kind of the look I'm going for. A lot of work. I mean, not a lot of work, but a lot of work that we still need to do, but I'm super excited about it, to be honest with you. Anyway, moving on. That's the little ventilation air holes that I was showing y'all from the outside. Not sure what to do with this. Ow, that hurt. Just put my hand right on that bolt right there. This kind of moves inside of there. These covers are supposed to be able to go on it, but I ain't figured out exactly how to make that work with this thing. I mean, it shows, I don't know. It's supposed to be something like that. You can latch it to seal it up, but we're gonna figure it out. If I'm gonna leave that though, I'm gonna have to put like a little screen on that because the mosquitoes get in here to be bad. And I wouldn't like that a whole lot. One thing's for certain, when they built this thing, it was for life-saving, not comfort at all. And you can tell that just by looking at the seat on the Helm. Look at this thing. Not exactly what you would call a luxury captain's chair. And then the seat belts, I mean, it's just a strap with a little like D-ring type style right there, and then a hook. You just hook that sucker on there and tighten her up. Got our compass so we know which way we're headed. A steering wheel. We got a pressure gauge right there. I'm gonna show y'all that in a minute. That's to actually start the engine. Engine oil pressure, and then engine temperature. Let's go ahead and switch to this camera for a minute. That way you might be able to get a better view because of this wide angle lens, because it is a tight spot. This camera, I can't exactly get it far enough away for you to be able to see. If you can see side by side the comparison. There we go. That might be able to show y'all a little bit better. But anyway, we're gonna turn this thing around. And there's the Helm. I'm gonna show y'all what that looks like. I'm gonna set y'all right here. Maybe that'll, nope, that ain't gonna do it. Let's do that. I'm working on it. I'm trying to figure it out. Give me a second. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know how that looks, but I'm gonna try and show y'all how tight it is trying to get in this Helm. I mean, especially for somebody like me, I'm 6'1", and that's it. I got a little bit of headroom. My head's kind of touching. I'm still kind of squatted down like that. But you can open this, and that'll give you the little bit of headroom. Hold on. Y'all sit tight for a second. Hold on. Stay right there. I can tighten this up. There we go. Whew. So that's pretty much what I'm gonna look like from the front trying to drive this thing to wherever we're going. Not a whole lot of room. My knees are kind of in the steering wheel. So like I said, a 14-man lifeboat. I would not want to have to be in here with 14 people. Luckily, we won't have to. Yeah. Woo! Gonna take our trip to the front of the boat. Once we pass the Helm into the bedroom, y'all all the way in the front of the boat now. Kind of looks a little bit big in this camera, but it ain't. So as you can see, we got the covers all off of the engine and everything, because we were working on it, and that's why it's scattered all over right here. So of course all of this won't be there no more. And this is probably where I'm gonna put the bed. Try and figure out a way where we can sleep, you know, me and Sue around right there. They got this bench right here, but that's all gonna be covered up because we're probably gonna have to put like a piece of plywood or something. I'm not sure exactly how we're gonna do it. This, we got an air tank right here, safe breathing. Big old air tank. I guess if this thing was battened up real tight and sealed up so the water can't come in while they hitting all kinds of waves, they could release some air in here so that people won't suffocate and lose oxygen, and then a lifeboat will end up being a dead boat. That's all I got about that. Down here's the pump. This is the pump that, well actually this ain't the pump. This is the valve that will let the seawater in, or whatever water you're in through the system. There's the pump that the engine spins, and then that's what pumps the water through the whole sprinkler system on the outside of the boat, covering it. But we were in here yesterday and it was raining, and we had some drips coming from these fittings right here. Not all of them, but a handful of them. So when I take all of this pipe out, I'm gonna have to do something with those. Either seal them somehow, replace it with something else that'll seal it. I don't know, because I might end up building some kind of deck on the top that we can sit on and fish and hang out, and probably use the holes that are already in it to be able to fasten whatever we're gonna use. So That's good. I shouldn't have to drill in anything. I can just make it work with what it's got. One of the crazy things is there is no batteries in this thing at all. No electronics, no nothing. Everything is mechanical. This right here is actually what you need to start the engine. There's no battery, no turn key. You gotta actually pump this thing. This is a hydraulic pump, and you pump the hydraulic pressure into that tank right there, and that'll build up enough pressure. And then I'll show you in a second, there's a foot pedal at the helm that the helmsman stomps on. That releases the pressure into the engine and rotates it. And that's what starts the engine instead of having an electric start on here, which I'll be honest with you, I wouldn't mind them having that. You got to pump this thing up. Even the bilge pump, which is right there, that's a little hand pump on it. So I guess the guy sitting in the front seat is responsible for keeping the water out the boat so it don't sink. And as you can see, we got a little bit of water going on right there, and I'll show you how that works in a second if I can put the GoPro out there while I'm in here, because I'm kind of by myself trying to show y'all. It pumps out the front. It's a good workout though. So there's your engine start right there. You stomp on that, that's gonna release the pressure. We got a pressure gauge right there. Ooh, I need to pump it a little further than that. Hold on, let me get back to pumping. Whew, who needs a row machine when you got a Lifeboat? I actually was thinking about buying a row machine until I seen this. I ain't got the money to buy me one. So I guess the exercise is gonna come in here and pump start this thing every day. Ugh. This is something I gotta look at too when I pull out this PVC. This I think this is a vent line for the fuel tank. I'm gonna have to leave something there because I don't want just that flimsy line will end up cracking out on accident. But anyway, whew. I wonder if we can cover this thing in like grass and stuff and use it as a big old duck blind too one day. You can pop out those 4 hatches, the 3 hatches. The side hatch, the dog can jump in and out of. Oh man, let me know in the comments if y'all want to see me try that. There's also a hand crank that goes right here. But I don't think I want to do that. I'm sure there's more involved than that. Woo! Back at it. I'll tell you what, I think it's time we try one of these waters, cause look at that. Thing's chock full. Let's see. Has this got the same expiration date on it? Yeah. MFG 620. I guess that's the manufacturing date. I'm sure it'll be fine. If you never see this video, it's because it wasn't fine. Let's see. Yeah, it looks clear. Man, that tastes like Kentwood. That tastes just fine. Natural spring water. Let's see. Emergency drinking water. New Zealand. So that's what New Zealand water tastes like. There's no funny taste to it or nothing. It's actually pretty good. I was honestly hoping they had some food in some of those containers, because I'm almost certain that they would have had something in there at some point with some food in it, but just water today. All right, we're gonna climb up on this thing. I guess I don't need to climb up. I can just put my foot on there. Here we go. Oh wait, you're supposed to do this. Nah, it ain't gonna start because we tried before. That's supposed to disengage the transmission, but engage the throttle. Let's see. I'm gonna stomp on that right there. Nothing. Still ain't getting no fuel to it. It's pretty cool though. It's pretty unique. Boy, that breeze feels good. This is the spout. As you can see, the PVC comes up through here, and then it's like a sprinkler thing, so it would shoot up against these little bell housing looking things. Am I showing y'all that, or am I just showing y'all that? Yeah, I think they even got some. Yeah, got some right there behind us too. Right there. All right, let's go hit that bilge pump, see if I can show y'all that. Kind of don't want to move. They got some good airflow right here. All right, get down this narrow pathway. See, this is gonna be, it's gonna be part of the struggle right here. I mean, look, 1 foot in front of the other is all you getting. Until you get right here, then it's a little bit wider, but then this is all gonna be bed probably. Get this out of the way. So you can see the hose goes down there for the bilge pump. We'll start pumping this thing. It's just a little diaphragm pump. There we go. Now we got it primed up. Here, I'm gonna stretch y'all out, see if y'all can see it. Whoa, upside down. I can't see if y'all can see that or not, but y'all let me know. Y'all see water come out of that or what? I'm looking at these seat belts. Oh, that can't be it. Oh, there we go. Like that? Oh, there's a spider. I don't know if that was a venomous one or not, but oh, that's locked up. Well, let's see. Oh, ooh, that's nasty. What is that stuff? Got some crusties on it. I guess it was just tightened up. I'm sure it was a lot easier almost 40 years ago when this thing was brand new. Ain't exactly a great seatbelt, I don't imagine. And I don't know what kind of seas this thing is able to take. The guy who sold it to me said something. I want to say he said 14, but I don't even remember. But could you imagine 14-foot waves in this thing? I mean, there ain't no cushion on the back. If I'm leaning all the way back, my head's like doing this number. And your seatbelt ain't nothing but a little hook. Which, I mean, I don't guess it's coming undone. And that's a quick way to escape, I guess. I don't know. 14 people. And then somebody's supposed to sit in this little spot. Look at that. You know how tiny of a butt you gotta be to sit on that thing? Here, let's find out. Oh, Lord. Where do you put your foot? So if my leg's over here, the person sitting there is gonna have to do the same thing. Unless they gotta just do this number. Oh, my goodness. I guess you'd be glad to have it, though, if it was that or burn alive, or drown, sink. I don't even want to think about that. That's making me claustrophobic. So you can see all the PVC right there that runs into that little groove. That's like the little walkway, the little catwalk around this thing. But that's where the little spouts come out to, I guess, run water down the side of this thing. And then once I take all of that out, that'll be some kind of storage or something that I could put in there. Maybe I'll put a shelf on this thing right there so that I can put stuff behind it. So I think there'll be plenty of storage areas in here. That way that whatever the stuff we need in here won't take up the room of, you know, the little bit of room we have. Just like up in here, these boxes. Oh, sorry about that. These boxes are just like this. This box right here, this is for them provisions, just like the other ones have with the water. I mean, we can store stuff in there. Still gonna need safety equipment, especially if we're gonna use this as a boat and actually go places. I'm gonna have to have life jackets, emergency stuff, flare guns, and all that kind of stuff. VHF radio. I got one of those. But then you got all that stuff that's spaced right behind there. Like I said, that thing's probably gonna come out, maybe. Maybe not. That one's not really in the way. But I mean, you got that cable system down there. I probably won't put anything all the way in the bottom just in case we do get water or find a little leak. That we'll leave this system in there. Maybe I'll cover it flat so we don't drop nothing down in there. I don't know. We're gonna come back maybe tomorrow or later in the week, and I'm gonna start working on this thing. I'm gonna start doing the stuff that I know how to do. My uncle's gonna help me get this engine running, and then we gotta patch up some stuff, move some stuff around, just trying to get her see where the. Once I can get it just sealed up to where we can get it in the water, we're doing it. Even if the top part has some leaks in it, that's fine. I just want to be able to get it running, get it out in the water, get some adventures, because we're gonna do some fishing and stuff out of this thing too. I got something else to show you, but I don't remember what it is. Probably not the best idea since it just rained, but oh, I am curious to see if we can climb on top of this thing. These rails are to hold on to. They got grip on this this little ledge right here. but there really ain't none up here, but it don't feel too slick. Whew. Maybe I'm wrong. Oh no. Oh yeah, solid as a rock. Oh. Honestly, this is pretty flat. Probably just put me a chair right there and relax when it's time to do so. That was fairly easy, but if I could probably, I don't know, make like a little platform that comes from here gradually out. Of course, then again, probably gonna put some solar panels up here somewhere. So that might become an issue unless I get the walkable solar panels, because they make something you can walk on. Them things are just, they proud of them things, man. Them things is highly expensive. This thing right here, I don't know why, but there's a little hole right there that just goes straight through. But these, well, I showed y'all that already. That's the where the water comes out at. They got them all over here. A couple on the back side. Make sure it all gets good and wet so it don't catch on fire. Let me show y'all the underneath the other side real quick. I don't know if it's the boat or these Gator Wader camp shoes, but these things they gripping pretty good. Don't feel like I'm slipping at all. On this back side, I'm not even sure what this is, because it's got a hose that connects to it on the inside, and our hose just kind of runs down and then comes out right here. So like it's just a hose from the outside to the outside. That don't make no sense to me. Y'all let me know if y'all know what that's about. But over here on the underneath side, I'll show y'all. This is where we at. Yeah, so that thing right there, that big thing, that's where it sucks up the water for that sprinkler system. And then that right there is kind of like your drain plug on a boat. It's got like a little ball valve in there. It's a little ball that I'm assuming when you get in the water, that ball floats and then presses up against a seal and doesn't let water in. But when you pull it out the water, it leaks out of that. So I'm assuming while it's on a ship, while it's on an oil rig, water's probably leaking inside this thing, and it'll just drain out until you drop it in the water and then it plugs. I'm not trusting that, because I don't want to be like napping in this thing and wake up all wet and sinking and stuff. So I'm probably going to take both of those things off and somehow seal that up. Y'all let me know if y'all got experience with boats and stuff, how I should go about that. Do I need to shove something up in there and fiberglass it? Can I just get like some kind of rubber gasket and then use those things to, like that thing, I don't even know. Oh, it looks like it might be screws. I don't even know how that thing. So yeah, we have to figure out all of that. Have to take that off. That's just like a screen though, I think. I don't know what it looks like underneath, but I want to try and eliminate those two, as well as those rusted plates on the other side, and then I'll probably seal up a little bit more around the cuticle thing, just to make sure, because not sure how we're gonna get this thing in the water, and I don't want to put it in the water and start leaking and have to hurry up and figure out how to get it out of the water. I'll probably try and buy a trailer for it if I ever get the money for that. So we still got a few things to figure out, not only on the boat itself to get her seaworthy, but also where to put it once we do. I think I got a spot where we'll be able to park it at first when we're taking it out, testing the engine and doing a little fishing and stuff like that. But as far as a permanent spot for like a camp spot, got a couple ideas. Y'all let me know if there's any leases that I can, where you would lease a camp on the ground and I'll just park the boat there, or boat slide. I don't know. We got to find a place. We're going to figure it out. I'm thinking we might need to put it in like some fresh water and keep it there long term. That way, because I know that salt water can be hard on some stuff. So I'm thinking about put it a little bit further north of the lake or something. Obviously something that we can get to, because I'd love to just hop in it in Lafitte and just take it to that lake, like through the intercoastal or something like that. But we got a lot of stuff to figure out, but that's okay. You guys can come along on the journey. This will be hopefully a part of the channel for a long time. Once we get this thing situated, get all the kinks worked out of it, and we love it so much, we might end up upgrading to a bigger one, but that's in the future. Can't really worry about that right now. We got enough to worry about. Also, y'all let me know if y'all have any experience with these things. Anywhere maybe I can find parts for it, spare parts. I think I want to try and change the seal around that prop before I drop it in the water, just because I don't know how old it is, if it's dry rotted or whatnot, because I don't want that to leak. Let me know if you have any experience on any of that. where I could find parts, where I can find pieces. Anything you see on here that you have experience repairing or something, that you can drop me a few pointers down in the comments or something, make sure you let me know that. I'd very much appreciate it. But that's gonna wrap it up, folks. Thank you so much for watching. Again, I hope y'all are excited as I am. I think this is gonna be a good addition to the channel. We're gonna go on all kinds of crazy adventures once we can get this puppy in the water. But hit that thumbs up button if you like it. Subscribe if you haven't. And tell as many people as you know to come check out these videos, because we're gonna need some way to fund this operation. Catch you on the next one.